So guys, this video is going to be about repairs and what we need to know as investors and how to do some quick analyzation. So if you find it helpful, take a minute and like the video. Don't forget to comment below as well. We'll do our best to answer those for you. And take a moment and join our YouTube channel as well. So I don't care what type of an investor you are, but if you're in the residential world, whether you're buying a home subject to you're getting a mortgage or a bank loan, you have to know repairs to a property. You have to know how to look at a property, to assess what is needed. Is it a roof? Is it foundation, sewer line, gas meters, electrical meters, panel boxes? All these things weigh into the equation. You also have to know what your competition is out there. One of the things I like to do, of course, is I go online, look at other houses that have sold recently in the area where I'm buying my house, and I'm seeing what my competition is. If I'm selling a house retail versus some other mechanism, what did they do to sell their home? Because most likely you've got to do the same thing to that house in order to compete with your competition out there. If you don't, you're bringing in a much lower price on that home. Next, what am I going to do if I'm going to do a seller finance on it to somebody? Maybe I can fudge a few things here and there, but not a lot. You know, I find it interesting. It used to be a lot of people, especially in the wholesale world, they want to call a house rent ready. I have yet to differentiate between a rent ready house and a retail ready house, other than not going over the top too much. Because when you have a house that has issues and problems, you got to fix them. You can't go in and put lipstick on a pig. It just doesn't work. And of course, the lesser the quality of your home, the lesser the quality of your tenant, your owner finance buyer, or even your back-end retail sale along the way. Years ago, through the thousands and thousands and thousands of rehabs that I've done, I've kind of trained myself what to look for, how to do things. And one of the things I find so advantageous is to be able to get in and out of the house quickly. Whether that's taking your phone with you and dictating in it as you're walking through it or walking around it, whatever it might be, get back to your office, type things up, take pictures so you can remember things. But you don't want to stay at a house for 30 minutes or an hour trying to make decisions. Take all your pictures, do your video, take your notes, get back, analyze it, and then do your numbers. So one of the things that I do, not one of them, but the many things that I do at every house, I try to do everything the same way, is I'm looking at the house. First off, before I even go there, I've already researched this home online. I've checked out the neighborhood, whether it's the street that we're on, other streets around it. I've done my Google Maps, looked at everything else, tried to see what's out there available for sale so I kind of get an idea, even before I go look at it for the very first time. It only takes a few minutes to do those things. Next is when I get there, I'm going to look at the house overall. How's it sit on the property pursuant to the fence lines, front, back, anything else that might be. Is there a pool, not a pool, those kind of items, and get just an overall assessment. And then looking at some of my utility issues real quick. Is there a gas meter? If there's no gas meter, you need to expect and anticipate to have a gas test done, meaning you're pulling a permit for $500 right there. Next is there an electrical meter? Yes, sometimes we buy houses and there are no meters because power's been shut off. That means you're updating your electrical in the house automatically and pulling another permit. You know, is the AC missing or not? If it's not there, maybe you're pulling that permit for AC automatically. You've got to look at some of these basics along the way. Another big one I look at is on any house really before 1980 or so is what type of a sewer line does this house have? Am I a slab or am I a pier and beam? Is it a PVC sewer line or is it a cast iron sewer line? You've got to learn how to locate and find your cleanouts. If you can't find cleanouts, great odds. That means it's not a PVC line, it's probably a cast iron. Now you need to be asking the question, is this something I need to be replaced or not? How do you find that out? You run a camera through the sewer line, you do a static test, but you can't even do a static test without cleanouts. You've got to learn how to find where your sewer line runs. Does it go out the back of the property, the front of the property, the side? Every house is a little bit different. Every city is a little bit different on where these are located. But you've got to know that because that's another big expense. Once I've done my utility searches, I'm looking at the outside of the house overall. How's the foundation? How's the roof, the window, the siding, the paint? What of those needs to be replaced? Windows are very problematic. Are they old aluminum windows Are they new double pane, low E type windows? And what's my competition? When I drive through the neighborhood, I'm taking note. How many houses have new windows versus old windows? And if they're newer windows, the great odds are maybe you're putting in the new windows. Not always, but most of the time. Once I make those assessments, I'm walking in the home, I'm looking at the overall layout of the house, and I've seen some pretty bad houses. But one of the things I don't want to do too much of is I don't want to go in and start moving walls and things, because that's an expensive venture. You're moving the walls, maybe you have structural issues, electrical issues, things of that nature. But sometimes you just have to, because the house is such a poor design and chopped up so much. But I make my quick construction repairs. I'm looking at what things I need to do on the interior from that perspective. I'm going to the kitchen. How are my kitchen cabinets, my countertops, my appliances? Do I have to replace the cabinets? Can I reface them maybe? What are my countertops? Do I need to go granite, marble, formica, something else? Are my appliance packaging, are they salvageable or not? Do I need new stove, new dishwasher, new microwave vent hood, whatever it might be? Look at those kind of things. Look at your sink, your faucet, your disposal, and determine if those are in good working condition, and know where you can buy those things. I'm going to my bathrooms, and of course my half bath, my hall bathrooms can usually be done a little bit cheaper than maybe a master bath if there is one in your home. And what can I do to get that master bath to looking a little bit nicer? Remember, kitchen and baths really do sell houses, and women are going to look at those kind of things first. And guys, guess who helps make decisions in buying houses in most cases? It's the women. So put your focus and some attention on those kitchen and on those baths overall. Learn how that when you're walking through the houses, look at this kind of stuff. Look at your electrical panel. Is it in the house, in the garage, outside? If you see one that is a Federal Pacific, realize you're replacing that automatically because it's a fire hazard. So there's a cost and expense to that as well. Look at your plugs. Is it a 2-prong or 3-prong plug? Maybe you have aluminum wiring that you have to do some pigtailing on in your plugs. That's just an added cost and expense that you got to be thinking about. Lights, fans, remote control fans, can lights or not. What can I do to make an older house look a little bit more updated? Acoustic on the ceiling versus not. All these things will help you make decisions, but taking pictures, making notes, doing your estimates while you're there so you can get in and out fast is so positive. While you're back also looking at the outside of your house, don't forget to look at the yard overall, trees, fence line, fences. What do most neighbors have? Do they have wood fences, chain link, none, whatever it might be? And what does this house need in order to get it to that market value based upon what you want to do with the home? I always find it comical when I go to a lot of houses where there are other investors there at one time, and I see these investors with pages and pages and pages that they're trying to go through and fill out. They're measuring the walls and the floors and this and that. It's like, stop, time out. I ain't got time to do that. You need to learn to get good enough at your estimates. What's it going to cost to paint the outside of a house? Fascia, soffit, and trim versus maybe the whole house versus the brick. What's it going to cost to paint the inside of a home that's 1,200 square feet, 15, 2,000, 3,000 or more square feet? I'm budgeting estimates. I don't have time to try to get down there and figure out a hardcore direct number. I can get pretty close, and I'm always going to err on the side of caution. Maybe that means that my numbers are a little bit higher, but at least I have a number. I don't have time to have contractors come out there and give me prices for foundation or roof or windows or sewer line or electrical. You've got to learn to get your prices and compartmentalize this so you can move in and out fast. Know what it costs to put in a 3-ton AC unit, a 4-ton unit, a 5-ton, by talking to your contractors so you can do a quick estimate along the way. And guys, if you find out how to do this, it will make your life so much easier in making decisions. And it doesn't matter whether you're a rental investor, an owner finance guy, or a retail guy. You've got to know all this kind of stuff. And last but not least is, don't chuckle too much again, guys. I love to go walk Home Depot, Lowe's, Floor & Decor, and other suppliers in our industry and know what's going on. I want to see what's out there, know what's available, know how to fix things. Now, you aren't going to be the contractor yourself up front, but you've got to know enough about pricing and structures and have reasonable expectations so your contractors don't take advantage of you. Know what the cost should be about. You're not trying to hone in dead-on numbers at all. but get reasonable estimates, know what to expect, know what to anticipate. And I think this will serve you well as you move forward in your investment career. So guys, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, take a minute and like it. Make any comments. Happy to help you with those along the way. And don't forget to take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We'll see you all next time.